Hi, this is Cheryl back with you from Farmhouse Frugally with what would you make for February out of the IOD 2026 new spring release. Well, I'm going to start with this plank that is typically used for cooking on the grill, but I'm going to turn it into a sign. It's a very lightweight wood and it is in good shape, actually brand new. I got it on the good table at the dump. And I took it out to the garage and sanded it, especially around the edges and corners. And I'm going to paint it with this beautiful blush pink color that I got from Home Depot on the sample section there where you pay $5 or $6 for those little samples. I love this color. And then once this is completely dry, I want to use the IOD 2026 spring release transfers. I had stamped some words on it and then painted over them. You can see them a little here. I'll have to cover it once again. They were smearing the ink, and so my little 3.5-year-old granddaughter is helping me here place a paint inlay into this paint. I told her press it down. Watch how she does it. She's so cute. She's just holding the edges. And so once we get that misted and put down and let it dry and then mist it again and peel it back, we have a little bit of a center to our sign for the transfers that I'm going to put over it. You can reuse these if you don't rip them like I am ripping it here. I never reuse mine. I have so many. I never get a chance to use all the ones that I have the first time round. And also I find if you've put them on a colored paint that it means the next time you use them, you have to use the same color. So that's where that nice clear glaze comes in. Those perhaps I would use a second time. But I'm going to touch up the words that are showing through and just kind of get rid of those little panty lines all around the edge here. And I had chosen some corner pieces in this gorgeous transfer book, and I am going to just go ahead and cut out those two pieces and lay them on the top corner around the paint inlay to start. The name of this transfer is Madeline. Rub it on, peel it back, burnish it, you know the drill. And then I'm going to go into the book and I'm going to pick a couple more pieces that are a little bit more in the primrose style to go along with that. And I'm going to put those also around the top edge of the paint inlay. And then I am also going to go back to the book and find a pretty little bird for the bottom section. And then once I have that done, I do want to put a little mold on this. I don't have the roses mold. That would be very pretty. But I do have this... what is this one called? Cherry blossoms. And so I'm just going to take a small piece of it. I'm going to just put some clay in the mold. I'm going to paint it white so that it won't crack. And then I'm going to just glue it on the area at the bottom. And then I am going to pick some paint colors out of the transfer and use them just to give that a little bit of color. And before I move on, I do want to say that today's collaboration, What Would You Make, is monthly and hosted by both Brenda at Rustic and Lace and Christine at Divine Designs. The guest host this month is Craft Crumbs, and their channels as well as the playlist link will be in my description box for you to enjoy what others have made with their wood items and hopefully give you some inspiration. Now I am going to add some dark antiquing glaze, mostly on the outside edge, to pick up the wood areas that I had distressed with the sander. And then I am going to pull most of that back, and then I'm going to use a little bit of the clear just to erase any place that I think might be just a little bit dark. And this project is going to be complete and I love it. If it's something I decide to hang on a wall, I will add a hook to the back. And that is it for project number 1. I would love to know what you think about these gorgeous IOD Madeleine transfers. The colors are just spectacular, and And for the price, I think it's $24 maybe. I can't remember. For the large transfer book, you will easily get 20 projects. If you are a crafter, I do think it's worthwhile to make that investment, because these days even the Dollar Tree or the dollar store is $1.75. So that was well worth it in my mind. Although hubby did get it for me for Valentine's Day. This is the next project. My daughter picked up this cutting board on the good table at the dump, and it has some scratches in it. And so I did take it downstairs and run my sander over all of it to get the main gouges out of it and get that smoothed down a little bit. And then I have a very pretty buttercream, very, very pale yellow color in my stash, another one of those Home Depot mixed samples. And I think it's a bear paint. And so this is going to go just one layer, mainly on the top here. I do sand back some of the edges later, but I don't want full coverage at all. I definitely want to see some of the wood. And then I have, again, a paint inlay from last year's collection. I have so many. That book is huge. It must have had 70 or 80 paint inlays in it. I mean, it's massive. Another very worthwhile investment. I wet it, lay it down in the wet paint, let it dry, and then come back once it's fully dry, mist it, and then blot it, and then slowly peel that back to get the paint inlay adhered into that paint, and that came out spectacular. And then I'm going to use the piece I cut off and just add that and do the same process here. And then I kind of get rid of those little lines with a wet paper towel, and then I can move on to adding some more to this. But I do love this mixed media. I do love to add these beautiful transfers on top. This is the second thing hubby bought me, which was the by any other name. It's all about roses, and it has such gorgeous transfers. All of the transfers are gorgeous, but I really do believe they've been getting more and more beautiful each time. So this one happens to have roses on it with a bird on the bottom, and that fit perfectly here in this space with one extra rose piece that I cut off, and then I can layer that toward the bottom. I want to hide that maker's mark anyway. I had painted over it, but this way I can make sure that that is good and hidden, that leaf or whatever it was that was on that cutting board. So once I get the transfer on here, I do sand back any extra paint that got on the outside edging and make that good and smooth and clean. And then once I'm finished with that, I want to use a little bit of glaze. I'm taking the white they call it clear glaze, but technically it looks white. And I'm adding just a little bit of the dark antiquing glaze to it, and I'm going to mix these two together. I personally like this look better. It's not as dark, and that way it can go over the entire transfer and protect that, as well as finishing off the paint and giving the wood a beautiful vintage tone. Once I have that on, I am going to just wipe that back, and this is absolutely stunning. I love this. It is awesome to find a cutting board and just be able to dress that up and use it as a decor piece. I went into my stash, pulled out a creamy colored ribbon, a little bit of twine, and just tied a bow around that top handle. And then I had the perfect little one stem left from a project of a little rose that matched the transfer perfectly. So I just added that right in. And this second project is, I think, my favorite. I don't know. The first one is beautiful, but this one I think is just absolutely gorgeous. So I would love to know what you think about item number 2. And if number 1, the pink shabby chic feel, is more your vibe, or if you really like more of this vintage neutral creams and greens like I do. And then that takes me on to item number 3. Now in the IOD 2026 spring release, they have the most adorable bunny mold, and everybody's using it, and I do have it. That was the third thing that hubby got me for Valentine's Day. But I decided instead of using it here, I did just use it in the video that I just put out. So you can check that out. It's a really cute basket. If you missed that spring basket, you really want to check that out, not just for the bunny, but for the handmade Easter chicks, so that you can recreate those for your Easter. But this time round, I decided that I would use an old IOD item and help you make a bunny if you happen to have the Farmhouse animal stamp. Now I just laid out some clay and pressed that bunny stamp right into it, and then I am taking just a kitchen knife and I am just going around the edges of that and getting rid of the excess clay. This does take a minute. Not quite as easy as popping clay in a mold and pulling it out again, but certainly doable. And you can use this, of course, with any of those farm animals that you have. So I just took a little bit of water and smoothed out those rough edges, and that was very quick and easy. And then I have a board, or basically a picture frame that's wood, that I had used on a different project. So I just used some of the buttercream paint on the bottom of that, but any wood item would do here. Now I'm going to take the very same stamp that I just used on the clay, and I am going to add a little bit of this brown toned ink, similar to the antique glaze on the frame of this, just to get this project matching. And then once I press the ink again on top, right where I had it initially, then I can cut away any excess white clay here, and this will give me the detail of the mold, or the stamp in this case, right back onto it and make it look so good. Glue that on and let that dry, and then I lost the footage here, but I just put some moss underneath the bunny and then went into my stash for some florals, and then I wanted to add a little sign to the top. Years ago, I had bought a little garland of carrots from possibly Hobby Lobby. I'm not really sure. And I just took out my stamps and added, "Did somebody say carrots?" on the top, and glued that right on that little sign for a sweet little spring or Easter sign. And that one was very sweet, simple, but really just to give you an idea of how you don't have to buy the molds if you have the stamps, because you can oftentimes just use the stamp for something like this, and that way it can go on paper and it can go on clay, and you've kind of saved yourself the money from having to buy both the stamps and the molds. So hopefully that is a good inspiration for you if you have a lot of stamps kicking around. And I would love to know what you think about these 3 what would you make items for this collaboration. I thank you so much for stopping by. I truly hope you will hit hype and like and leave a comment and all the things to help my channel grow. And don't forget to check out the playlist. I will see you in the next one. Take care.